Hey everybody, this is Josh and Tori with OAF Fam. Welcome back. Today we're going to cover the topic of domicile with you guys. So domicile is basically when you set up a
established residency
in a state in order to receive mail, to be able to vote, and all the things that you require to do when you have a physical sticks and bricks home, whether you rent or you own. But when you're on the road, you have to still have some kind of a residence where mail goes to. For some people, they use someone's address in a state that they're in or they want to be in. For us, we didn't really have that option because we knew that eventually we would need to move our address because we didn't want to keep our address in California.
No.
So for domicile, there's 3 states that really are RV friendly and are super easy to do it, and those 3 states are South Dakota, Texas, and Florida. All have a lot of the same positives, and some are different in some ways or another. We decided to choose Texas. Texas had many benefits for us. Everything from no state sales tax to
no state income tax.
Sorry, no state income tax. The homeschool laws are very generous, and there's a core component with the health insurance and being in a certain spot. For our daughter to be in Texas Children's, that was a huge driving force on why we wanted Texas. So with that, we're going to go through today. We're going to walk you through all the different things we did, how we did it, and all the little moving pieces, because it's a pretty...
It can seem overwhelming. Like, at least for me at first, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much. But once you like really break it down and like look, I found blogs, I found, like links to what you need. And it honestly, if you just go step by step, it was so easy. It was like, oh, okay, well, that's not hard.
Yeah, no,
so
and if you like put all your stuff together and you're set and you're prepared, it's all very easy.
It's very easy.
So the first thing you had to do is...
Once we decided Texas was we were going to domicile, we needed to get an address. So we picked out a mail service that we were going to be using. There's several mail services out there. There's Escapees that I know does all 3 states. America's Mailbox is out of South Dakota. And then Traveling Mailbox does a bunch of different states as well.
Yeah.
We chose America's Mailbox just for one reason over the other. We pay, I believe it's a little over $200 for the year, maybe even a little bit less. It's right around $200.
Yeah.
If you pay, you can pay by month, or you can pay up front for the whole year, and you obviously get a bigger break if you're paying in full. So we just paid for the year because we knew we were going to be out. And then you basically choose where you want your address, and it sends you an address. So it's super easy. America's Mailbox has been great for us. They receive our mail. They go through it. You can have them open it, scan it, shred it, forward it, like just based on whatever you get. We get notifications every time there's new mail in our mailbox.
So
it's
awesome.
just great. We love it. And the plan we picked, I think you get like up to 100 scans per month, and we haven't even come close to that.
No.
So it's been wonderful. So we got our address. The next step was to change our address with our vehicle insurance company, because that's one of the documents that you can use to prove residency in Texas. Was your vehicle registration along with your registration insurance, and then we were able to get our IDs based on all that. So basically, that's where we started. We started with getting our mailbox, getting our address. The next step was we changed our vehicle insurance with our insurance company, which we have Geico. Super easy. Took me 10 minutes on the phone.
Yeah, I don't know who everyone uses for insurance, but we've had an amazing experience with Geico for being a traveling RV team. I know some people have issues with insurance. Geico has been amazing.
They've been wonderful to work with. So we changed our address with Geico, and then the next step was once we were in Texas, we went and took the next step was to get the vehicles inspected with a safety inspection, because that's what Texas requires. Just a side note, depending on where you domicile in Texas, you may or may not have to have your safety inspection done in that county. So for us, we originally domiciled in Dallas County, So we were actually staying in a different county and tried 2 different places to get our vehicles inspected, and they're like, no. And finally, the last place was like, oh no, you have to have your inspection done in Dallas County because you're going to be registering the vehicle there. We're like, oh, well, that would have been helpful to know. So, side note. So we had our inspections done. And another side note, if you have your driver's side window tinted more than 25%, you might have to rip it off in the driveway of the inspection place.
May have had to do that.
It may have been a little bit painful to watch, but that's okay. So we got our inspection done. It was like $16, super cheap, super easy. And then we literally went straight from there to the state tax office in Dallas County, which was in downtown Dallas. Walked in, got a number, sat down, and Josh and I were like, oh my gosh, we had all the kids with us, so we're like, oh boy, this is gonna be an adventure. So we waited maybe 20 minutes. They called us up. I had already pre-printed and pre-filled out all of our necessary paperwork, so we didn't even have to do that there. I literally had everything stapled or paper clipped and handed it over to the man, and it was like super easy. We got our titles like in the mail maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks later. So that was easy. And then our next step was to go to the Department of Public Safety, which we tried to that afternoon, but unfortunately it was like 2 o'clock by that time, and because we didn't have an appointment, their standby appointments were already full.
They were already gone for the day, yeah.
Josh and I decided we would just get up early the next morning and go to the Department of Public Safety closer to where we were staying. So we just took our their necessary required documents, which was our vehicle registration, our insurance, and all of the proper documentation filled out. And then we took it into the Department of Public Safety. Because we were prior California residents and we were opting not to take this Texas state license testing, like the drive test and the written test and all that, we had to surrender our California license. So basically we handed over our California license. They give you a piece of paper basically saying that you surrendered your California license. You get a temporary Texas license, and then our license came in the mail like 2 weeks later. So super easy as well.
Easy, yeah.
I think it was $30.
And we don't have to register. We don't have to redo it for 8 years.
8 years. Unfortunately, I'm stuck with a bad picture for 8 years, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, so that was that. Then, just so you know, because I'm sure people have had this, like, well, what happens if I move? What if I need to change my domicile? We've actually had to do that, 3 weeks later, because we ended up having to get medical insurance in Texas, and in order to be where we needed to be, I needed an address in Houston. So luckily, Traveling Mailbox has a Houston address, which was wonderful. So it took me maybe 5 minutes to change that address. Got all that done, got that established, forwarded our mail, and then I just went on the Department of Public Safety's website again and just did a change of address on there, and 2 weeks later had our new license with our new address. So
super easy. They're
very easy to work with, very friendly, had great experiences all the way around. And I don't know, like, I think it, like Josh said, it can be overwhelming, but if you look at it, if you take it step by step and have all the necessary paperwork in order, then you'll be fine, and you won't be turned away. That'll be easy, and you'll be done. So
so the biggest thing is those are the 3 core states, and you have to weigh out which one is going to be the best for you, due to what you guys have. For us, like I said, the core issues for us were no state income tax.
Yeah.
The health insurance, the homeschool,
health insurance.
Yeah, the homeschool was a big one because we, South Dakota at the time didn't allow us to just go. Well,
they just had different requirements and just things that wouldn't be conducive to our lifestyle traveling. I understand that now they have maybe loosened those, and so that might be something to check into. But at the time, I mean, we just had so many other reasons that it was just easy for us not to do that. So, I don't know, like, we've been happy so far, have no complaints. Our kids love Texas, so they would probably want to end up there. But I don't know, it wasn't that bad.
No, it was really easy. But if you guys have questions about domicile, drop them in the comments, and we'll get them all answered for you guys. And like I said, we'll drop the blog post that Tori had read, along with any other resources that we have to help you guys.
Yeah, we'll drop like the state tax department, because you can go on there and put in your zip code, and it'll pull up all the places you can go. Same with the DPS, like all the places that DPS is, they're all over Texas, by the way.
Oh my gosh, they're
like
everywhere.
Every other exit, it seems like Department of Public Safety. I'm like, wow, they are everywhere. So, and you can make an appointment on their system. For us, we knew we only had like a week and a half in Texas at that time, actually really only a week. So I didn't have time to make an appointment. So one of the ladies had told us, if you just go in first thing in the morning, they keep a certain number of standby appointments open. And so that's exactly what we did. And we had no issues. I think we maybe waited a half hour, maybe. And it was very easy, very user-friendly, and they were very nice. So, and it's cheap. It's not California prices.
Cheap. Oh my gosh.
Vehicle. We got our vehicle registration notice in the mail for our truck right before we went to the DPS to register in Texas, and I about threw up because it was so ridiculously expensive. And in Texas, it was like not even a quarter of what it was going to cost to re-register our truck in California. Like, just dumb, but oh well.
So anyway, I hope this was helpful, guys. Like I said, if you have any more questions, drop them in the comments, and
we'll link it up.
Yeah,
and then you can get on your way to domiciling. There's lots of resources out there. So I mean, just yeah.
All right, you guys, like, subscribe, and
enjoy your day.
Enjoy your day, you guys.
Yeah.